Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Same awesome Naya. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, I am sure you all might have heard about the two members of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. were unalived, and it's anti-Semitism, right? And I am asking, what is going on since this administration started? A lot has really been happening, and it looks like I've been saying it like there is an importation of racism, but it is what it is. A lot of people have been waiting for this period to activate their inner demons, and which they are absolutely showing us at this point in time. So I am going to amplify the voices of the people that spoke on this. And with everything going on so far, they talked about how Orange Man talked about genocide and how he almost humiliated South African president at the Oval Office. And I am going to ask, how come this man all of a sudden made up a genocide that is going on in South Africa? Because last I checked, I also saw videos of white South Africans saying that there ain't anything like that going on. And I am going to ask, why is it that when some certain things happen, especially between people that look like me and them, then we are always the problem? Wait, did he not hear about these white South Africans feeding people that look like me to the pigs and all that? They will never hear things like that. But I am going to say this: anti-Semitism is not okay. Let's get into.
We have some really terrible news right now. Overnight, 2 Israeli staff members were shot outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum because they were Jewish in a blatant act of anti-Semitism. According to the Washington, D.C. police chief, she said the suspect chanted, quote, "Free, free Palestine," and proceeded to shoot this young Jewish couple.
It is deeply irresponsible to frame this as a targeted attack just because they were Jewish, when by your own admission, they were Israeli embassy staff. One of them wasn't even Jewish, she was Christian. This was not about their religion, it was about their affiliation with a government that's currently being investigated for genocide and war crimes. That doesn't justify the violence, but it does change the context. Intentionally omitting that distinction isn't just dishonest, it's dangerous. Just say you're defending a state, not a faith. It's like claiming Brian Thompson was targeted in New York because he's a white man, when in reality it's because he's the CEO of a health insurance company that's profiting off a broken system. Misrepresenting a motive to push a narrative helps no one.
The recent incident outside the Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. is just one of many reasons why, as Jewish people, we must continue to fight back and push back against this anti-Jew hate, against this anti-Jew rhetoric, this anti-Semitism. That's why we must continue to stand together as a community, continue to fight back. Because one thing about us Jewish people is that we're resilient, we're going to continue to fight, and we'll never give up. That's the great thing about the Jewish people. We're going to continue to push back and we're going to continue to fight. My condolences to those 2 individuals' family. I'm Yisrael Khan.
2 members of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. were shot and killed in an act of anti-Semitism. Rest in peace to those people, of course. Condolences to those families who were affected. Anti-Semitism and hatred of any kind has no place not only in this country, but in any part of the world. I think the vast majority of us would agree that a hate-free planet is the ultimate goal, right? Here's why I'm pissed off. President Donald Trump, his words: "Hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA. Condolences to the families of the victims. So sad that such things as this can happen. God bless you all." An accurate statement, a truthful statement, a factual statement, and a hypocritical statement, considering who the fuck it's coming from. Again, Donald Trump. Hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA. I think we all readily know what hatred means, but in case you didn't know, radicalism, by definition, is the beliefs or actions of people who advocate thorough or complete political or social reform. Again, the beliefs or actions of people who advocate thorough or complete political or social reform. Does that sound familiar to you? Let me ask you, would you think that somebody is advocating for complete social or political reform if they not only ignore the orders coming from federal courts and federal judges, but then try to undermine the legitimacy of those orders and those judges by saying these are radical leftist lower court judges that shouldn't have the power to stop President Trump's agenda. President Trump's agenda, the American Constitution, two different fucking things. So if you're more concerned about pushing the agenda forward than you are about honoring the Constitution, to me that sounds like advocating for complete social or political reform. Again, let's read his quote one more fucking time. Hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA. Condolences to the families of the victims. Condolences to the families of the fucking victims. Coming shortly after the Department of Justice is attempting to reverse the settlements that were reached after the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor killings. Fuck those families. What did he say about the school shootings? We just have to move on. We just have to get over it. So to the parents that lost kids, fuck those families and those victims. Or how about every single motherfucking time you don't lick this nigga's taint? He says, oh, your network is horrible. You need to be investigated. You're a shit reporter. You're not smart. Propaganda. I just saw a video. Oh, energy's up. Gas prices are down. Eggs are down. Everything's up. Why are you asking me these tough questions? I'm telling you, everything is up. Lying. Ignoring facts. Scared of being pressed. Trying to intimidate and attack anybody, whether it be political, a civilian, whatever the fuck, that doesn't just bend the knee and praise Donald Trump and his agenda. Again, does that sound like fucking radicalism to you? But according to him, hatred and radicalism have no fucking place in this country. So on Easter, when he said happy Easter to all, followed by a fucking paragraph about Joe Biden, who lives in that nigga's head rent-free, that type of hatred has a place here. Calling all immigrants gangsters, violent, that type of hatred has a place here, according to him. There were ICE agents at the courthouse for people's deportation hearings. That type of hatred has a place in this country. Be so for real right now. So sad that things such as this can happen. You know what else is sad that it fucking happened? You won't give up this conspiracy theory about white genocide in South Africa. This most recent Saturday, I cannot make this shit up. I'm talking to a white chick. We get to talking about how she's been out the country. I'm like, what countries are you going to? I remember she said she went to Nepal and she went to South Africa. I don't remember which region specifically in South Africa, but I remember her saying South Africa. I don't have a fucking geographical map imprinted in my head. But she said she wouldn't go back to Nepal. It was like on a mission trip. She got sick or whatever, bad experience. But then she said that she could not wait to go back to South Africa. And after hearing the stories about these white refugees and then Trump trying to say that there's white genocide in this most recent press conference and shit, I'm like, wait, she's white? Very white. Blonde hair, blue eyes white. And she said she can't wait to go back to South Africa. So then also in my mind, I'm like, hey, what if I lived in the UK? What if I lived in Australia? And what if slavery was still prevalent in America? American slavery was still a thing in 2025. Do you think I would visit the US and then go back to my home country and be like, oh yeah, I went to Arkansas, it was great, I can't wait to go back? No, you wouldn't do that. So to hear a white chick say, yeah, I can't wait to go back to South Africa. She's been there in the last 5 years. Like, this is recent. She's been there in the last 5 years. I don't know what year exactly, but I know it was in the last 5 years, right? And she can't wait to go back. But then I have to watch this dusty orange crustacean in the Oval Office try to convince the literal president of South Africa that there is in fact white genocide going on. With no evidence, a baseless claim, a conspiracy theory pushed forward by Elon Musk. A baseless claim, just like how they won't shut the fuck up about the 2020 election. A baseless claim, just like everything else they fucking lie about. It is eternally pathetic to live in a country where they say there are rules, but when it's time to enforce those rules, they don't do shit. What do you mean you can ignore facts and still hold your office, your position in the federal government? What is that? What is that? There is not a white genocide going on in South Africa, point blank period. There's not a conversation behind it. There's nothing to discuss. It's just not fucking happening. But when apartheid happens and the land and whatever the fuck is unproportionally or unfairly distributed, and then it's predominantly owned by white people, and then the government comes in and says, no, because of that, we're going to take this land, not give you shit, and we're going to evenly distribute it throughout the region as it should have been in the first fucking place, they call that oppression and white genocide. So anything that could possibly happen to the white man, whether it's in this country or way the fuck over there, anything at all, that's oppression, white genocide, needs attention now. Get all the immigrants from South America out of this bitch. Bring over the whites from South Africa only so they can resettle here. That type of hatred has a place in this country, according to them. Is that statement I read at the beginning of this video true? Of course. Anti-Semitism is an awful thing. Racism, hatred, violence, awful things. But when you have a fucking hate-filled, dumbass moron that is very much doing radical things on a daily basis, trying to completely reform politics and society, let them tell it police don't need any type of reform, no type of investigation, immunity from the law. Let them do their job. As if police brutality ain't no fucking camera for years. So when a racist ass cop wants to pull over somebody black for going 43 and a 40 and he beats the dog shit out of them, that type of hatred has a place in this country, according to them. The most hypocritical, un-American administration this country has ever seen.
A couple of days ago, 2 workers at a Jewish foundation, 2 Jewish people, were killed, shot to death. My sympathies and condolences go to their families. May their lives be a blessing to yours. When the alleged shooter was caught, he was all yelling, "Free, free Palestine." That is not how you free Palestine. I'm sorry. It isn't. It is not. That is not how we protest around here, sir. Ma'am, whatever. It's not how we do it. We don't stoop to the level of murdering people that have nothing to do with the reason we're protesting. That's not how we do business around here. So I hope this motherfucker gets the maximum time possible, and I hope his ass is sent someplace where he can never do shit like this again. With that being said, I got 3 targets in this fucking video. Be prepared for them. Number 1, Mercedes and muscles in nursing are exactly the biggest problem in the LGBTQIA+. They are. Because if it doesn't match gay white men or white lesbians, they don't give a fuck. They don't. It is the reason there's such a problem amongst the LGBTQIA+ when it comes to trans people. I'm sorry. We're going into Pride Month. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Some of the weakest links come from gay white men and white lesbians. I said what I said. I ain't taking it the fuck back. Problem number 2. I'm gonna address this right out because I don't care. Some of you pro-Palestinian protesters are fucking up. Y'all fucked up the assignment so goddamn bad it ain't even funny. It ain't. Killing 2 people because of their Jewish faith does not put your point across, because those 2 people had nothing to do with the Netanyahu administration. Nothing. They're Jewish. That's it. The end. And you decided to kill them because of it. The fuck are we doing right now? Some of y'all have missed the fucking point so fucking bad you gotta go back 3 exits to get to the bitch. Okay? Third problem. How do we protest? Let me tell you something, and I'll be dead ass honest with you. You can dislike a protest, but it is their First Amendment right to do so. And before anybody comes and says, yeah, protest, not riot, Red Summer, there's a bunch of towns that no longer exist. They might have had the right to protest the town. They did not have the right to murder everybody in it or burn it the fuck down and loot the goddamn place. So I'm gonna need you to sit your ass down. I do not give a fuck what organizations say. You have a right to protest. You do. It is in the First fucking Amendment. You have the right to address your fucking government for redress of a problem. You have that right. Do you have the right to be violent? No. So if you're pro-Palestinian or pro-Israeli, you do not have the right to be violent. That means you don't get a chance to shoot people. You don't get the chance to fucking harass folks, and you damn sure don't get a chance to go in and beat up people. There was an Israeli woman who went to a pro-Palestinian protest and was beat up. Not by the people there. She was part of the protest. But on her way home, she was attacked. That's not how we protest around here, kids. And since today is Memorial Day, which, by the way, you do not thank a veteran for today. You honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for this country. That's why it's called Memorial Day. Veteran Day is later on this year in November. I don't give a fuck what Donald Trump tries to change it to. Veterans Day is in November. Veterans Day is in November. Okay? And in that regard, on this Memorial Day, y'all better remember what these men sacrificed for. These men and women, what they died for. And it was the right of the American citizens to protest. You do not have to agree with the protest. There's a lot of protests I don't agree with. Hello, Charlottesville. Hello, January 6th. Until that shit became violent, they had every right to beat her. They had every right to beat her. The moment they started attacking shit, the moment they started to disrupt shit, like the death of Heather Heyer, the moment that happens, that's no longer a protest, that's a crime, and your ass need to get up off the motherfucking planet. I do not care. I did not sacrifice my body and mind so that motherfuckers can tell other motherfuckers what they can and cannot say. Bullshit. You cannot say, oh, well, you have freedom of speech, but you better not talk about the fuck. Who the fuck are you? The fuck are you? In this country, you can fucking disagree with anybody about anything, and you have a right to say it out loud. Now, there's a whole lot of people saying, well, the black people say we can't say the N-word. Ain't nobody ever said that. They said accountability. You say it, you're going to get the shit smacked out of you. Same thing here. Same thing here. You have a right to address your government for redress of a problem. But that does not mean your rights supersede everybody else's, because you can be pro-Palestinian on one side of the street, you can be pro-Israeli on the other side of the street, and the two shall never meet. The moment violence happens, it's no longer a fucking protest, it is a crime. And that includes killing 2 people. That includes running people the fuck over with your car. That includes fucking storming the goddamn Capitol. While everybody's sitting around talking about this, that, and the motherfucking third when it comes to these protests, let me help y'all understand something. The 4 soldiers that died in Lithuania, remember them? Died in a tank accident? They're getting $1 million apiece. All 4 of them. Their families will get $1 million apiece. Ashley Babbitt, who was a fucking criminal at the time, who broke into a window and got shot, her family's getting $5 million. Make it make fucking sense, but I digress. Y'all need to watch who it is that y'all follow and why you follow them. A lot of people don't like me, and I'm okay with that. I'm all right with it. I know where the fuck I stand. I ain't changed. You motherfuckers might have, but I haven't. I'm the same fucking asshole I was when I had 1 follower as I have as 1 million. I am the same fucking person. The things I stand for are still the things I stand for. The people I will call out are still the people I will call out. I hold no motherfucking love for a government. I hold no love for motherfuckers that are detrimental, like gay white men and goddamn lesbians, white lesbians. I hold no fucking, oh, well, I can't. Anybody can get it. Like I was telling Angry the other day, it can happen today. Every time you see my fucking face on a video, it can happen today. Anybody can get this work. Anybody. Anybody. I do not care. I don't give a fuck about your stat. I don't care. If you fucking up, you gotta look for me.
This is all I got from this video, and shout out to Long Judah. Yeah. The truth is that I think I've been saying this thing for for a couple of days that it looks like there is an importation of racism, because the things that I see these days are way out of order and beyond me, sincerely speaking. Like, life somehow changed. And excuse me, I'm not going to say that maybe this is not who they are, but it has always been who they are. And a lot of them also needed someone that looked like them to activate that thing that they know how to do best. And so far, it has really been on a high side so far. And yeah, with everything they have said and all that, they are all on, like, it's just me trying to amplify what they said and all that. I am sure majority of you saw the video of Donald Trump talking, yeah, Orange Man talking about talking to South African president and trying to humiliate him at the Oval Office, talking to him about how there is a G-side going on in SA. And why is it that each time something happens, it has always been people that look like me that are at fault? Like, how? So he never heard all these years that the same people he took in as a refugee, like, because it's only these people that are good to help. I rarely see them wake up and say, oh yeah, I know that something is going on in like what it's going on in Congo. For years, it's really been very bad and people are struggling. Life is very hard for them. You will never hear something like, let's look for a way to help these people, probably bring some people here and help their lives out. Why? Because they look like me. They do not have that skin color for protection. Same South Africans they took away people that look like me's land and all that, blah blah blah, and like, the same people that are unalive, people that look like me in a farm, and fed them to the pig. Took away people's lands. They don't get to see all that. Then from nowhere he came about why G-side? How did that even? How? Sincerely speaking, South Africans are just great people on a serious note, because each time I see some certain things happen, they still look for a way to defend them. Like they are fine with them and all that. And, they always look for a way to defend them. That's why sometimes I do not like to, get myself into the discussion so much. I know it's a rainbow nation, right? It's a rainbow country. But how do you sit down and let people lie about you? I mean, sometimes you have to take actions, right? But that is by the way. Now, with everything that happened, the Semitism, this thing going on, what more can I say? I mean, I hope people are also speaking up for people that look like me as much as people that look like me speak up for them. Sincerely speaking. If the world and if people are speaking up sorry about that. If the world and if people are speaking up for Black people as much as we speak up for them, I am sure that this world will absolutely be a better place and everybody will be in unity. The best I can say is that I hope everything going on tends to stop, because there is no room for anti-Semitism and the rest of it. Yeah. We can do better as human beings. Like sometimes I feel like people do not have value for human lives anymore. Like you wake up and you see some certain things going on and you are like, what is going on? This is not human being like. But it is happening. It is still going on. And it continue to go on. And I hope that we are all safe. Thank you so much for the support. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.